I wake up. It was a crazy day yesterday, but we somehow managed to pull through. I stand up and stretch while looking around. Everyone seems to be sleeping. Everyone but Leanna, of course. She is always up bright and early to practice. I think she's rubbing off on me, because I'm also waking up very early these days too. Pongo too? Oh shit, sorry, did I wake you up, buddy? I look down at my Pongo. What the? He's a bigger blob than I remember. He grins contentedly. Oh my god, you fat sack of shit. How much did you eat? How much did you eat, huh? How much of the energy from the spheres did you eat last night? Were you absorbing energy all night?
Boy.
That's a total fucking yes. Glad to see you're so happy. No more energy for you, you do you. Does he return to normal form again? Like, is this obviously him being a bigger blob? Is that a temporary form, you know, until all the energy that he, I guess, ate digests? I don't know. It's just, I don't want him to turn into like a huge fucking blob monster, right, if I let him do this. But, I mean, if this makes him happy, I don't know. I feel like I'm his parent, right? I need to lay down the law. No more energy for you, little Pongo. Because that's what he should remain. Little. That's it. No more absorbing until dinner time. Whoa, whoa, that choice made it seem like never again. We're not a very strict parent. No more absorbing until dinner time, which isn't like 5 hours, but you don't seem to be hungry anymore anyway. So you know what? Go to sleep, and by the time you wake up, you'll be ready to eat again. You can't just have all the energy, you see. Look at yourself. Yeah, ugh, you disgusting blob. The Pongo frowns.
Boy.
Yes, I did call you fat.
Boy.
Oh, he sounded angry there. The Pongo tries to bounce indignantly, but struggles with his extra bulk. He looks hopelessly down at himself. Oh, he can't even bounce happily around anymore. See? Look what you've done to yourself, Pongo.
Boy.
Aw, even he realizes, like, aw. I stretch again. Ever since I got into the routine with Leanna, I look forward to our morning spars. Between the magic training and sword training, maybe I could eventually become a Mage-Knight. That's the goal. It doesn't take me long to find Leanna back in her usual outfit. She sits cross-legged with her eyes closed as if in meditation. Her crystal glows in her manipulator, but otherwise, she doesn't move. As I move closer, she breaks up from her trance and gives me a warm smile.
Good morning.
That's the Leanna I know. Even though, you know, the previous armor may have looked sexy as hell, this is the Leanna armor, okay? This is how we know Leanna, and it suits her much better too, for sure. But yeah, she doesn't need to wear the other one anymore. She probably just dug a hole and buried it. Hey, just practicing energy channeling? She nods.
I was just waiting for a certain someone to wake up so we could spar.
Well, that certain someone is wide awake. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, milady. What if I don't want to spar? I always do. It's time to duel! I watched a shit ton of Yu-Gi-Oh! Hell yeah. You've revealed my trap card! I'm not calling myself a trap, by the way.
Huh?
You've never watched? Of course they have never watched it. Exodia! Obliterate! Ah! Right, that's what fucking Kaiba says. Leanna crosses her arms and frowns.
Are you feeling okay?
Come on, how do you not know Exodia with a, what was it, a K and a Z? CKZ? Come on, everybody's heard of Exodia. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just had to get it out of my system. I ready my blade. Leanna looks a bit distrustful, but does the same. She's still scared. She's scared of Exodia. Oh shit, she doesn't say. We'll start with a standard spar. The goal is to knock your opponent to the ground. Ready? Oh, I'm ready to knock people on the ground. My grip tightens around my blade. I nod. Let's go. We dash towards each other, and our swords meet in a metallic clang. Leanna spins around and swings her sword towards my side. I bring my sword down and hear another clash as metal hits metal. Then I push her blade back as I move to strike. Leanna easily parries it as she knocks my sword away, creating an opening. I manage to dodge her strike just in time. She ducks low to avoid my retaliating blow and thrusts her sword again. We continue to dance back and forth as the duel progresses. I can feel myself improving. I'm not having as much trouble defending against Leanna's attacks, and I'm able to get a few jabs of my own in too. Beads of sweat cover Leanna's forehead in a light sheen. It doesn't look like she's using her wind magic to buff her. Leanna matches my intensity, something she does every match. Just as I feel confident that I have the upper hand, she increases her skill level, and I have to scramble to keep up again. Whoa, take it easy on me, Leanna. Regardless of my improvement, I still haven't been able to beat her in a single match. And those statistics do hurt my pride a little. Come on, give me one, throw me a bone. Maybe if I can distract her and catch her by surprise, I'll have a better chance of winning a match. I've been playing by Leanna's rules this whole time. Maybe it's time to take a play from Zach's book. The Death Slinger's book. Do whatever you need to win. It's okay, I don't mind being a loser. Initiate Operation Distraction Tactics. Operation ODT, let's go! I wonder if it's even possible to rattle Leanna. I guess we'll find out. What would be the best way to distract her? Look, a squirrel. There's a spooky ghost behind you. I find you attractive. I feel like out of all, this will throw her... Like, whether what we're saying is true or not, whether we actually feel this way or not, this is the one that will rattle her the most, right? Because whenever we pay her compliments, she always, like, she blushes, she gets flustered, blah blah blah, you know? So, I'm pretty sure if she's in like a scroll, she's like, whatever, a spooky ghost, ha, I don't think they believe in fucking ghosts here. But if I say this one, she's going like, what? And then she puts down her guard, and that's when we get her. I know this might not be the most appropriate time to say it, but I really like you.
Wait, what did you just say?
See, she put down her sword, she's blushing. Leanna's cheeks tinge pink, and there's a pause in her movements as she's taken aback. Now's my chance! Get him, boy! Before Leanna has a chance to react, I strike her with the flat of my blade. She scrambles to block the attack, but leaves herself wide open in doing so. Taking advantage of the opening, I connect a shoulder tackle, and Leanna falls ungracefully to the ground. Got him! Got him! We did it! It takes a moment for this image to set in. I did it! I fucking did it! Pongo would be proud of me. Leanna glares at me and frowns, if he could even turn his neck to look at me.
Hey, that's not fair!
All's fair in love and war. I'm the greatest swordsman of Asaria. The student becomes the master. Don't be such a sore loser. You know. I don't want to brag that much, right? Because this is definitely not true. But this might be a funny jab at her. Huh. Now that I've bested you, I guess I need to find a new mentor, huh? Leanna's eyebrow twitches.
What you need to go find is the meaning of honor.
Don't be so salty, yeah, girl. Leanna's manipulator flickers to life. I mean, goddamn. You might be able to throw some on our dinner later tonight if you continue being this salty.
Two can play at that game.
Oh, are you doing it too now? She glares daggers at me. Uh-oh. Wait, did I like awaken some sort of beast inside of Leanna? Wait, hold on. I was just kidding earlier. Before I finish my sentence, Leanna thrusts her gauntlet forward, and a powerful gust of wind pulls me into the air. Whoa! I wave my arm helplessly as I try to return my feet to the ground. Then my momentum ceases, and I hover for a split second before I come crashing down to the ground. I gasp for breath as I stare up at the sky. As my vision clears, I see Leanna looking down at me with a triumphant smirk on her lips and her hands on her hips. Alright, I might have deserved that.
Might?
Okay, I definitely deserve that. Let's go with definitely, Leanna laughs and extends a hand. I can't let her win on such a smug note. I grab her hand and yank her down with me. She yelps in surprise as she loses her footing and falls to the ground. Before she can make sense of what is happening, I roll over and pin her under me. Ha ha! 2-1, baby.
What are you doing?
I'm winning. I'm on top of you. 2-1. If we're counting scores, that's twice you've let your guard down. She frowns.
And that's twice you've used cheap tricks.
Hey, it's not cheap tricks. You should always be on guard, girl. I shrug. Well, how else do you expect me to beat an unbeatable Mage-Knight?
Huh?
I mean, sometimes you just gotta use... If you're at a disadvantage, you gotta do whatever it takes to even the playing ground as much as possible. I've seen the way you fight in a real battle. You'd mop the floor with me in an instant if we sparred for real. And you used even half of your capabilities.
That's not true. In our last couple of spars, I've been pushing myself to match your intensity.
You're just saying that. Leanna shakes her head. Wait, really? I thought she was kind of taking it easy on me.
In the beginning that would have been true, but your growth as a swordsman has been tremendous. How much you've learned and improved in such a short time. I've never seen anything like it.
Maybe I am the greatest swordsman of Asaria. I should have fucking picked that choice anyway. No, I'm kidding. Probably not. At least not yet. Leanna looks up to me with a genuine smile and pride in her eyes. Despite myself, I can feel my cheeks getting hot. Let's be honest, the credit should go to the person who works tirelessly to train me every day. I smile at her, and she smiles back. This time, it's her turn to blush. And as our eyes lock, I feel a warmth course through me. I'm reminded again just how amazing she really is. It still impresses me just how much time Leanna spends to help me in whatever she can, and I'm eternally grateful. She searches my eyes with her own, and then her cheeks turn redder. Whoa, 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 is this like sort of an intimate moment?
I suppose you did technically knock me down first, which would make you the victor in this spar.
She's given it to me? She's given the victory to me? A technical victory? That's the best victory there is? I'll take any win I can get at this point. She laughs. I'm acutely aware of her body beneath me, but neither one of us seems eager to move apart. There's a moment of hesitancy to her voice as she speaks softly.
Well, you finally got me.
Twice. Don't forget that. Twice.
What are you gonna do next?
Again. Her eyes search my own. You expect me to follow this up? Like a gentle breeze urging me into their direction. The sunlight glints off of her armor, and I feel the kiss of her skin as she shifts beneath me. What do you want me to do? That's a good question. She lowers her eyes and parts her lips as if about to speak, but no words come out. My gaze falls to her full lips, and I can't stop myself from imagining how soft they would feel. Feel them. Feel her lips with your finger. Slowly, I begin to bridge the gap between us. Someone's gonna cockblock us when we hear a noise beside us.
Where did you two disappear to?
Hey, Zach. Terrible timing, buddy. Go get out of here. Go back to sleep. I whip my head around to see a stunned Zach. He looks at me pinning Leanna to the ground and shakes his head as he quickly turns away.
I asked.
Oh god. It's not what it looks like. As fast as lightning, I jump off of Leanna. My face feels like it's on fire. Leanna scrambles to her feet, her face just as red as mine.
We were just sparring.
Yeah, this is the finishing move of the sparring, you know?
What an interesting way to spar.
Leanna's blush somehow deepens.
You have it all wrong.
Yeah, we spar in a very different way, okay?
Right. Anyway, when you finish up your, spar, feel free to rejoin us at the camp. Food's ready, not that I have an appetite anymore.
Oh wow, dude, seriously? You'd be lucky if you ever saw any of this, okay? Not that I would let him. Zach heads back to the camp without giving us a chance to retort. Leanna points to me, refusing to make eye contact.
You stay right there.
Why? Yes.
I'm going back first. You can follow later. We are not going back together.
All right. We wouldn't want to give the wrong impression to Kara and Amy, right? Right. Not together. Leanna collects her sword and miscellaneous items, then power walks away from me and back to the camp. What the heck just happened? I felt like something was blooming there, right? And then we got interrupted. After taking a moment to compose myself and still my pounding heart, I also gather my sword and items. Then I wait what I think is a suitable amount of time before following her back to camp. Everyone else is up by the time we return to camp. I smell the delicious aroma of food and grab myself a bowl. We carry bowls around with us? Everyone is served, or once everyone is served, we sit down together to eat. Leanna makes it a point to sit as far away from me as possible. She stares hard at her food, as if it's the most interesting thing she's ever seen. I'm pretty sure she's deep in thought right now, actually thinking what happened, right? She probably just was overtaken by her emotions, her feelings that she doesn't quite understand yet. I glance around at the rest of the group to see if anyone takes notice. Zack remains expressionless. Amy occasionally glances at Leanna, and then at her own bowl of food, as if wondering what Leanna is seeing. I hesitate, not sure I'm ready for the inevitable teasing, then brace myself and look at Kara. She doesn't seem to notice me, and is cheerfully enjoying her meal. At least Zack didn't tell anyone else. After a few moments of silence, Emilia seems to remember something and grabs a book from her pack. Here. She hands it to Kara. Kara blinks in surprise, and I notice it's the same book Kara gave Amy back at the Earth Temple.
You don't want this anymore.
Emilia shakes her head. I have read through the literature, and it does not contain any information which could be of use.
Really? We found it in an old temple. Are you sure it's not something that the Mage Academy would want?
Amy shakes her head again.
The text is a subjective moral lesson in the way of a fictional story about an adolescent. This yields no academical benefit.
Yep, complete and utter fiction. Kara thinks, then shrugs.
Okay, if you're sure you don't want it, then I can sell it. It's still an ancient relic after all.
Sell it?
Do as you please with it.
It's just an ancient fairy tale, right?
Alright, thanks, Amy.
She nods and resumes eating. Once everyone has eaten their fill, we clean up, camp, and continue on our journey. We travel together for quite some time. Finally, the sun begins dipping low and streaking the sky with sizzling pinks and yellow. Rocks crunch under our boots as we continue down the path. The air is brisk, and goosebumps shiver up my arms. A sharp breeze cuts through my clothes, and I wonder how much further we need to walk. We manage to drag our way through, the chill deepening with each vanishing beam of sunlight. Kara leads the way as a few steps ahead of us. Zack's expression is hard to read, but I notice him pull his coat in a little tighter around him. Leanna rubs her hands together before puffing out hot breath into the cradle of her palms. Oh yeah, my hands are pretty cold right now too. Pongo doesn't feel a thing because he has a thick layer of fat protecting him. The Pongo nuzzles against my neck and disappears into my scarf. He's even colder than usual, making me shiver again. I guess I'm not the only one noticing the chill.
Aw, poor little guy. It's pretty cold out, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
We should pick up the pace. When night falls, it's only going to get worse.
True, we need to find a preferably a comfortable place to spend the night. A warm and comfortable place. We agree. My teeth rattle from the cold, and I tuck my freezing hands under my arms. The bitter breeze swirls through Leanna's hair and makes her shiver. She coils tighter into herself. Emilia's cloak balloons out behind her, and she lifts her hood over her head. Ask why she's not using fire magic to keep warm, keep moving. Why wouldn't she use that? Like maybe hold like a torch or something, right? Hey, Amy, can't you use your fire magic to keep us warm?
Such an expenditure of energy would be wasteful.
But I feel like she could just grab a branch or a thick piece of wood, right? And just light the top. That doesn't cost much energy, just like a minor spark, so that it sets on fire, right? And then boom, we kind of got a torch. Although you can't just set a piece of wood on fire because then it'll just burn down. You have to wrap like a piece of cloth around it, right? With something flammable to keep it burning continuously. I don't know exactly. But I'm pretty sure a piece of wood alone is not enough to use as a torch. But you know what I mean, right? It doesn't require that much fire. It's not like she continuously have to keep using her fire magic to keep the torch lit, I think. Aw, come on, Amy. She shakes her head. Wow. Not even willing to help us out. You're being cold yourself too. I let out a deep, defeated sigh. A human furnace would have been so nice. Oh, is that what they meant? That she would like heat herself up with fire magic? But that seems like a very complicated and indeed very exhausting. It costs a lot of energy to do that. I think my plan's better. Just use a fucking torch. Or create one. We continue on. The wind ruffles my hair and passes right through me, numbing me with cold. Even Zack folds into himself and stuffs his hands deep into his pockets. Amelia yanks her hood tighter around her ears and face and tries to keep her cloak from billowing out too much. Leanna keeps her head down, the frigid air turning her cheeks pink. But Kara's walking ahead of us with a little skip in her step. Her arms dangle at her sides as if she's just taking an afternoon stroll. I mean, she's probably used to this type of weather, I guess. I nudge Zack. Is Kara not cold, despite wearing the least amount of clothes among all of us? Zack untucks himself from his coat long enough to take a look. Then his voice drops too.
Doesn't seem like she is.
Leanna hears us talking and blinks in surprise at Kara.
How is she not cold?
I don't know, I just asked my boy the same thing. What kind of magic is this? It's because she's so hot. Hey, but I mean, wouldn't the same apply to Leanna then too, right? That her hotness is keeping her warm. Obviously, it's because she's so smoking hot. Ay, caliente. Leanna gives me a stern look. What? I call it how I see it. It was just a joke. Calm down. Leanna's glare intensifies, and she scoffs, turning away. Maybe calling another girl hot was not the smartest thing I could have done. Uh-oh. Did I fuck up? Kara whirls around to face us and winks at me. Did she hear me?
Please do go on. You were saying something about being hot?
Oh, you heard that, huh? Did you, Kara? Oh, shit. How does she hear us every time? That was my library voice. Leanna and Zack look alarmed, too. Amelia just blinks at the commotion.
Aren't you freezing?
Kara looks at her blankly.
I don't think so.
Okay. Damn. She's got strong genes or whatever the fuck. Zack's stare intensifies. His face is frozen in a confused grimace.
Seriously? How's that even possible when you're barely wearing...
Anything? Kara tilts her head and raises an eyebrow. She smiles, and the rest of Zack's sentence trails off. Leanna gapes at her.
Seriously, what's your secret?
Secret?
There's gotta be a secret to it, right? Or some kind of heating device that's keeping you warm?
I don't know, some people are just more tolerant to temperatures, whether it be cold or hot, than others, I guess. Amy steps over and checks her manipulator.
She does not seem to be using any magical assistance to keep warm.
Damn, maybe she's like a reptile. Oh no, wait. Yeah, wait, what? Fuck, I'm confused. Reptiles are warm-blooded, or are they cold-blooded? Ah, fuck me, my biology teacher. This is why I didn't even fail biology. But, yeah. My biology teacher's rolling around in a grave right now. God damn it. Kara laughs.
Are you guys a little chilly or something?
I mean, we ate chili earlier today. Leanna's trembling becomes a little more noticeable as she huddles between me and Amelia. Kara glances at each of our trembling forms, and for a moment, she seems confused.
Oh, wow. You guys do look cold.
We are cold. Brrr.
Because it is!
She watches Leanna, Amy, and I step closer together for warmth, and her expression changes, like a light bulb went off in her head. She turns to Zack, and her mouth spreads into a slow smirk. The way she's looking at him reminds me of a fox eyeing a rabbit, catching her prey.
Actually, you're right. I'm freezing.
Oh god, Kara.
Ooh.
Really? Really now? She wraps her arms around herself and feigns a violent shudder before cozying up to Zack. Oh, come on! Why do you keep going after Zack, Kara?
I'm terribly cold.
And you're a terrible actor too, but I'm pretty sure Zack is gonna fall for it anyway. He shuffles away from her.
What are you doing?
I mean, if he ever realizes what the hell she's doing. Kara pouts.
Trying to stay warm, of course. aren't you cold too?
Zach frowns.
I'm not cold.
He's not? I'm pretty sure he's just trying to, you know, pretend to be manly. Huh, I'm not cold. Just as he says that, the wind picks up again. He shivers and crosses his arms. A slight grin spreads across Kara's face.
Oh, of course you're not.
She moves towards him, and Zach shuffles away again.
Not happening.
Oh my god. Dude! How can you say no? Kara frowns.
But I'm not dressed appropriately for this weather.
That's true.
How is that my fault?
Kara looks up at him with a big, shimmering puppy eyes.
Okay.
Aww. She looks defeated and sniffles.
I guess I'll try to manage somehow.
She hugs herself with another theatrical shiver and exaggerates a few more sniffles for added effect. Zach shifts side to side, clearly uncomfortable. He crosses his arms and lets out a deep, deep sigh.
Fine.
Oh, dude! He goes to take off his coat, but Kara stops him. That's not what she wanted, dude! She didn't want your coat!
Wait, I don't want you to be cold too.
Well, there's no other option.
Yes, there is, Zach. Yes, there is. That same devilish smirk slides across her face.
Sure there is.
Oh god, Kara. Why you gotta be in love with that dude? She lifts up Zach's jacket and slips inside, pressing herself against him.
Hey!
What? We have to keep warm, right? This jacket is big enough for the both of us.
Zach looks like he's about to argue, but says nothing. Kara smiles and snuggles into him. Zach's cheeks tinge pink, and he looks away from her. Kara notices his blush and smirks again.
Don't think I'm enjoying this.
Ah.
I'm only doing this because it'll be troublesome if you get sick.
Sure, Zach, sure.
Of course you are. That's so sweet, thank you.
Such a nice guy, Mr. Deathslinger. My eyes drift over to Leanna. She glances at me and blushes before quickly looking away. Maybe that means she wants to get close too? Snuggle buddy, give the fair maiden your scarf. Continue on, snuggle buddy! I wrap my arm around Leanna and pull her close. Her face turns beet red.
What are you doing?
I mean, I just got inspired by Kara's act of, you know, remaining warm. I feel like we should do the same thing. We don't want to get sick now, do we, Leanna? You're cold, aren't you? Me too, and exactly. The best way to warm up, besides probably fire, if you don't have access to fire, right? The best way to warm up is through body heat, right? You just share each other's body heat. Leanna's blush darkens, and she hesitates. What's wrong? This is warmer, isn't it? She almost smiles, but then her gaze snaps back to the others. She quickly slips out of my arms and shuffles a good foot away from me.
No thanks. I'm perfectly fine over here.
But she shivers again against the breeze, curling into herself. You're not fooling me, girl. I arch an eyebrow, amused. Doesn't look too warm over there to me. I lift up my arm to give her room to snuggle back into my side, but she glances at the group again. It's as if she's afraid they're going to see us. Yeah, see? If the others weren't there, or if they wouldn't judge us, or wouldn't think weirdly of us or something, right? Then she would have already jumped into my arm 5 minutes ago. I quickly glance around at the others before feigning a loud gasp. Wait! Are you afraid they're gonna see that we touched? Zach, Kara, and Amelia stop. They turn to look at us. Dude, now we're... that's a stupid thing to do, is it not? Now we're bringing more attention to it, making Leanna even less willing to do something like that. Leanna scrambles back over to me, waving her hands.
Stop it! Keep your voice down.
Oh no! Body contact! The scandal! Leanna slaps her hand over my mouth, muffling my voice, and the laughter that comes. Come on, we're not fucking 7 anymore, okay? Kara smirks.
Is everything all right back there?
Leanna blushes.
Yes, we're fine.
Kara has a wicked grin on her face. I think she's going to tease her, but instead, she pulls on Zax's arm to keep moving. Leanna pulls her hand away, refusing to make eye contact.
We are nearing Ellendale. The journey should not be much longer.
Ooh.
Oh, really? What a shame.
I mean, we can take a detour if you want. Zach gives her a look.
I mean, oh boy. Yeah, it's so cold. Good thing we're almost there.
Zach squandering a beautiful opportunity. Zach and Kara quicken their pace, and we follow them for the rest of the journey. We travel for a few days. It seems to get colder and colder the more we travel, but we somehow manage. On one afternoon, we finally arrive in Ellendale. Wow. Wait, is this the same background image as another city that we went into? I think it was episode 1, right? The city in which we met Amy? Or Amelia? I'm not sure, but this looks awesome. It looks beautiful. Although there's still a present chill in the air. The sun's bright rays warm us as it glints off of the impressive buildings. The people here are well dressed and pay no attention to us. We must be used to seeing those from out of town. As we venture further into the town, I noticed lots of people heading towards the center of the square and into a large structure. What do you guys think that building over there is? Amy glances at where I point and brightens up.
That is exactly where we need to be headed.
She speaks. What the fuck? Fireworks already? It's not even fucking December, people. Chill the fuck out. She speeds up, looking pleased. It seems like everyone else needs to be there too.
Is there an event going on? What exactly is in there?
Carnival? But Amy is already out of earshot. We pick up the pace to keep up. When we enter, I'm blown away by the sheer magnitude of the place. This looks exactly the same. But once again, it could just be, you know, a similar usage of a placeholder background image for now. The main doors open into a hallway, which splits off into adjoining wings. One wing is labeled the library. There's a conservatory and a cultural center too. The conservatory does not allow visitors, but the cultural center seems to be hosting some sort of exhibition, and that is where the crowd of people are filtering into. Leanna breathes out in wonder as she takes in the hall. Kara cranes her neck to get a better look into the library, while Zach watches the crowd. Amy turns towards us.
The library in Ellendale is renowned for its collection of rare tomes. It is the largest library in Havengard.
Wow, you can have a grand old time here then, aren't you, Amelia?
Since we are already aware of the Wind Temple in this vicinity, I hope that by cross-referencing the books in the library with the notes from Elderism, I will be able to narrow down the exact location.
Alright. We're counting on you. Leanna nods.
Good idea. Do you need any help?
Amy shakes her head. Of course not, of course. Amy can do everything herself.
I am confident that I will discover the information we need sooner, rather than later.
Alright. Kara grins.
You don't have to tell me twice. I've got some business of my own I'd like to take care of while we're here.
What would that be, Kara? Zach narrows his eyes. Oh god, what are you two gonna do?
What kind of business?
Kara smiles sweetly. What are you up to, Kara?
I had no idea you took such an interest in me.
He crosses his arms.
I just want to make sure you aren't getting into trouble.
Sure, Zach. Could it be Zach? Could it be? Are you starting to like Kara?
That doesn't sound like me.
Alright, why don't we all take some time to relax and explore Ellendale, and meet back up here afterwards?
Gotcha. Everyone agrees and goes their separate ways. To my surprise, Kara follows Amy into the library. Zach and Leanna both move towards the exhibitions and seem surprised by each other's choice. I take a closer look at the exhibition and see two signs. I guess the reason there are so many people here is because there are two exhibitions going on at once. One is on the illusions of the mind, and the other is about the heroes of Isaria. Leanna and Zach both walk towards the exhibit of illusions. Really? I thought they'd be more interested about the heroes of Isaria. Although that's probably like a history lesson both of them already know. Check out the exhibit with Leanna and Zach. I mean, these choices usually allow us to do every single choice, right? So we're just gonna start from the top again. Illusion of the mind sounds like it can be interesting. Some of them are really clever, but don't forget, they're still illusions. I enter the exhibit and catch up with Leanna and Zach. Hey guys! Zach nods. I'm not gonna let you alone with Leanna. You can hear that, Zach?
Hey! I didn't know you liked illusions of the mind.
I do. I want to trick other people's minds. They can be fun. Leanna smiles and nods. The room is filled with different paintings and sculptures. People mill around each piece, squinting in concentration and quietly discussing. We decide to start at one end of the room and work our way down. The first piece is one I'm very familiar with. It's a 2D painting of colored spirals. Leanna gasps.
It looks like it's moving.
I know that trick. Zack nods in agreement. We move on to the next one. It's a drawing of an elephant, but something seems off. Both Leanna and Zack squint at it. It's missing a leg.
Yeah.
Zack leans closer.
Wait, no it isn't.
Leanna counts.
Only 4 legs, but there looks like there should be more.
This is confusing. Is it like where you can hardly tell the difference between the front and back legs, and it kind of looks like they're morphing into each other, making it seem as if they're more? I don't know. We murmur in agreement as we move on. If they want to show these illusions, what would be awesome is to actually show like a picture of the actual illusion, right? Because now we just have to sort of go by as to how they describe it. And I feel like describing an illusion is kind of a difficult thing to do, right? Like, it's really hard to just, from this description alone that they give, to exactly imagine what the hell they're looking at. As we study the next image, my face turns bright red. Is that a naked woman? Oh, they definitely should have showed the image of that.
Dancing figures.
Leanna nods. Really? That's what you see? The two of them give me strange glances.
Yes. What are you seeing?
I definitely see a naked woman. I pretend I see what they see, a naked woman. No, no matter where I look, I always see a naked woman. A woman. They blink. Of the less than clothed variety. Leanna's cheeks turn pink as she studies the image.
What? Really? How?
Is this like the image? You know, there's a particular image where, like, depending on which color you look at, it's either like a vase or like two people just facing each other. I feel like that's a very, very common picture that a lot of people have probably seen as well, right? But just depending on which of the two you focus, it looks like either a vase or like the two people facing each other, like with their faces straight towards each other. Look, it's so obvious. She squints.
I don't see.
Leanna's eyes widen. Now she sees it.
Maybe we should move on.
Her cheeks are flushed as she hurries on to the next image. I bet she finally saw it, huh? It wasn't just me. I'm not the only one. I don't even have a dirty mind. I just see what I saw. That was actually real. Because a dirty mind would imply that I saw something that isn't actually there, right? I imagined something, but that's not the case. We pass a few more images, and both Zack and Leanna are in agreement of what they see in each one. They spotted the old man in the old man, or a woman image, and they saw the swan in the rabbit or a swan image. Every time they'd agree, they'd grin at each other, and sometimes they'd even share a glance as if they were in on a secret no one else knew. Hey, what the fuck? Do you have inside jokes with each other? I feel left out, what the fuck? This kinda feels like I'm being the third wheel. It's a bit uncanny how in sync they are with each other right now. I've never seen them get along so well before. Or Zack smiles so much at once. Hey, what the fuck is going on here? Zack and Leanna getting along well? I'm not liking this. As we pause at the next illusion, a man ponders the image thoughtfully. He wears a block robe with gold stripes, and a mess of blonde hair sits atop his head. His blue eyes squint intently at the image as he ponders the illusion.
All of these images hold so much meaning. They're the epitome of understanding that not everything is as it seems. If you change your perspective, you're told a completely different story. I see these images and I wonder what it is the artist is trying to share. Which story is theirs? The one that I see first, or the one I understand after further study?
Very deep, bro.
This piece has been especially interesting.
He turns to
Tell
us.
me, what do you see in this picture?
I mean, usually with forms of art, right? I feel like some people are trying to read too much into it as to what there actually is. But obviously, when the artist or whatever, when the creator of something, right, they usually have some sort of something in mind, a goal or whatever when they make it or write it or whatever, right? But that's not always how people interpret it, so it can be quite interesting that other people see it entirely differently than how the creator intended it to be. Leanna and Zach share a knowing look and grin.
It's obvious.
Yeah, naked woman again, right?
Yep.
They answer simultaneously. Vases?
Vases.
Ah, that's the one I was talking about! Vases, the vase, and the faces. The two of them freeze. Their eyes widen in
You
shock.
meant to say faces, right?
No, they're clearly vases.
But I'm pretty sure it's just one vase, not two. Because the faces are on the outside, and there's like a vase in the middle. That's like, you see it because of the outlines of the faces.
No, they're faces.
Unless faces look like vases to you, you're very wrong.
Leanna shakes her head.
How could you have been so right about all the others and so wrong about this one?
It's just a matter of perspective, guys. Calm down.
Actually, in that last illusion, I didn't see a swan. I saw a rabbit!
You heathen! Get the fuck out of here, Zach! Leanna gasps. How could you? How could you? You made her believe you saw a swan.
I trusted you.
Oh my god, are they really gonna fight about this? Because this is one of those things where you can't technically be wrong, right? I mean, sure, the author may have intended one particular thing, but it's possible to see both. And in some, I feel like with those illusions, does the creator actually have in mind knowingly that they're like, okay, I'm gonna make it look like it's two different things, and depending on how you look at it, you can see either one, right? Depending on how you look at it, you would either see the faces or the vase. I feel that's probably how they created it, right? Because it would be too much of a coincidence that... Imagine that, right? You just draw two faces facing each other, and then people just suddenly like, oh, nice vase you painted, dude. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he's actually surprised that that's what he made. I mean, it's entirely possible, but I feel like those illusions are probably more often than not created with the illusion, with the thought of the illusion in mind, right? Rather than it just being in hindsight and actually being surprising to the creator itself. Like, whoa, I made that? Holy shit. But it's possible.
I thought that was the only time. But I see now that you've been wrong this whole time.
Oh, come on. Come on.
You're the one who's wrong.
I mean, no one's wrong here technically, okay? Both are technically correct.
No. There's no need to...
Leanna and Zach glare at him.
Not now.
Oh god. Leanna suddenly rests her gaze on me.
What do you see?
Fuck. Happy waifu, happy laifu, I see faces. Sisters before misters, I see faces. Bros before hoes? Ho, whoa. We do not call my Leanna a hoe, okay? I gotta side with my waifu here. I want a happy laifu after all. I see faces too. Leanna grins smugly. I mean, if I actually remember correctly, the first time I saw that image ever, I probably saw faces too. I think. That's what I want to think, at least. Zach shakes his head.
You two are perfect for each other. You have equally bad taste.
Yeah. Leanna and I react at the same time. Perfect for each other?
Bad taste?
That's what you react to, Leanna? Wait, that means she's actually... That she doesn't object to the fact that we're perfect for each other. Hey, Leanna! She looks at me. I mean, bad taste?
Wait, what did you say?
The part that Zach said first? I saw faces? Her smug grin returns, and she spins back to Zach. Yeah, he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy.
That's right. See? Their faces.
Zach sighs.
You're free to believe what you want, even if it's wrong.
She ignores his last comment, content with her win. The philosopher chimes in before the two of them can continue bickering.
Have you considered the possibility that you're both right?
Oh gosh, you're about to blow their minds, dude. Leanna and Zach stop arguing and look at him.
This illusion tells two independent stories, intertwined in a single piece of art. The precision, the illusion, wrapped in perfect symmetry. To understand another perspective instead of being rigid in one's own perception. That is the true intention.
Definitely. Leanna and Zax nod slowly, as if fully understanding and taking in what he said. Calm and pensive, they face each other again.
I guess it's possible that they're vases.
I'm glad your eyes are finally working.
Dude, you're supposed to say like, maybe they could be faces too.
What? You jerk! You're supposed to say you see faces!
Exactly.
Oh, why would I agree with something wrong?
Stubborn as always, Zach. Get out of here. Their arguments resume, and I sigh deeply. Not this again. My gaze wanders the room, and I glance wistfully at all the other illusions, wishing we could move on. Hey guys, let's move on. They don't hear me. Guys? Again, the two of them are just too wrapped up in their argument to hear me. It seems like this is going to take a while. I guess I'll finish this exhibit on my own, and check back in with them later. Unnoticed, I slip away from the group and finish up the tour.